Hello, hello. We are back. This is Emilia and Alana, and we are going to talk about how to attract a man on demand. Okay, let me just first tell you about our guest, Alana, that I'm really excited to have here today. She grew up believing, like I think many of us, that attractiveness is something you either had or you didn't. So you were either hot or you were not hot. You were sexy or you were not sexy. She also believed it was based on your physical appearance. But come to find out, she was wrong in both cases. Attraction goes way beyond physical beauty. Thank God, because we have evidence of that in all of Hollywood. If it was all about physical beauty, then all of Hollywood's marriages would be perfect, and they're not. So it must not be about that. And you have the power to attract your ideal partner, no matter what you look like or how many dead ends you've reached in dating. And I am here to say, yes, I completely agree, Alana. That's absolutely right. I think you for sure got it there. Because your attractiveness level is based on your energy. Your attraction is a skill. And we're going to talk about the first steps to becoming highly desirable. Oh, this is hot. This is hot. This is hot. They need this. They need this. This is all about attracting a sacred partnership. Oh my gosh. So Alana is a dating and intimacy coach. She is the creator and author of The Art of Feminine Seduction, which is an energetic dating system that helps you claim your emotional and sexual power in romantic relationships. And we're super majorly going to talk about power because that's one of the big P's of sacred partnership: polarity, power, and passion. She teaches and coaches women to unlock their seductive allure. Don't you want that? I want seductive allure. Oh my goodness. And create their highest potential in life and love. Yes, and I love that word create, because that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about creating a healthy, thriving, fulfilling, nourishing, amazing relationship. Alana, welcome. And thank you for being here. So excited to have you. So excited to talk about this. Oh my gosh.
Yes, and thank you so much for having me, Amelia. It's a great topic, and I do want to say before we dive in that you do have seductive allure. We all do, right? This is the idea is that we kind of assume that a seductive allure is for some people, right? Those other people, the Hollywood, right? The Hollywood
Yes.
seductress. And in fact, we all have a seductive allure inside of us. We've just often locked it up tight because it feels safer. It feels safer to be female often, or a woman, and to not express that the allure. So yes.
Wow. Yes. I mean, I can see how that would be something that you'd have to kind of get used to having on,
Yeah.
So, okay. So this is so fascinating. Okay. So tell me why or how attractiveness is based on energy. Let's clarify this because this is fascinating.
Yes. Well, actually, it is all based on the three words that you are using in the summit. Polarity, power, and passion. So
Amazing.
I did not know that was the basis of this summit going into it. But when I think about it, that is literally exactly the system, right? So first thing is polarity. You want to be creating energetic polarity, right, in your dating. And this is just it just creates the tension, right? The sexual tension and the juiciness and the connection that creates attraction, right? That's what actually creates attraction, is this kind of interest and intrigue and this feeling that you want to know a little bit more. So I used to assume that we kind of went from 0 to 100, right? Like you saw somebody and you were like, oh, I'm in love, right? Oh, that's the person I want to date. Oh, that's the person I want to sleep with. Like I thought it was very immediate. And the truth of the matter is that these relationships build in moments is the fact. So this attraction step can happen, very slowly. It can happen, piece by piece. It's not necessarily like, oh, I saw someone and I knew, that this was going to be it. And that kind of thinking can really get in the way of remembering that you have power.
Yes.
Right? So that's the next thing, is remembering that you have the power to create attraction. And we can talk a little bit about how to do it too.
Oh, I'm ready. Let's go. I'm
Yeah,
so there. I'm so ready right now. You've got me
just to make
by,
sure.
yeah, you've got me by all my feelers. I'm so interested.
Yes, and I don't want to tease and then disappoint, you know.
Yeah. Well, just a
But,
little
well, yeah.
teasing.
A
Tiny,
little
tiny
teasing
bit,
is
very
great.
tiny.
Yes. Just to, it's again that's the part of the intrigue, right? You're teasing.
Yes, the
Great.
play, the playfulness.
Yeah. So you want to be connected to that power of like, oh yes, I have the power to turn on my allure, right? To turn on my
Yes.
seductive qualities and to turn on your love light, right? We could also call it, is kind of like the, oh yes, like I am available for romantic attention. And then
Ooh,
getting into the passion. This I guess I think this comes up later in our interview, but passion is really, and your own passion. I want to be clear about that. Like your passion is what is going to help you become attractive.
yes.
Your connectedness to what you love and what you want and what you want to share with the world in a partnership is going to turn on your allure, basically, your
Yes,
attractiveness.
yes, yes,
Literally light you up from the inside, right? Because
yes.
as you said in my intro, I really thought it was about the external features and, body,
Mm-hmm,
body
mm-hmm.
stuff. We receive a lot of messages about that. And it's just not the thing. What it
Just
is,
not, yeah.
it's even that sort of, it's your internal beauty message that I also feel like I got is only half the picture. Uh,
Mm.
so let's break it down. Let's break down attraction. Let's
Yes,
go to this polarity first. So the
yes,
polarity that I'm assuming most of your viewers are looking for to create is the feminine versus masculine, right?
yes,
And likely we're coming from the feminine space. Yes.
yes,
Okay. So the feminine, you want to be in the being rather than the doing, right?
yes,
So in every case, in every situation, I cannot exaggerate that enough, is you want to be in the space of your own being rather than in this doing mindset. I mean, I used to date a lot from that, what can I do to attract him, right? What can I do to get him to want me more? What can I do to get him to call me back? What can I do to get him to text me today? I
right.
was very much in that energy of I got to do something. And you to become attractive, you've got to get into your being, and a lot of that's about your passion, right? So you've got to get into your passion and what's making your life great, right? Like what makes your life full and joyous without your ideal partner, right? So
Yeah, so
that's the hard
that's
part.
why my husband still thinks I'm hot 13 years later when I'm chubby and have gray hair. Okay, so it's the passion.
Yeah,
Because
because
it's like,
it's
how are
really
we so
not,
hot to each other?
it's not based on that external stuff,
Yeah.
like that can help to create, so we can talk about physical attraction that can help create sort of an interest, like, oh, that's pleasing, but that's not
Yes.
what's going to create an actual like attraction that has any body to it, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
And that's why, as you I love, as you talked about in the intro, there's so many celebrity couples where it's just like that just doesn't last, and you can even think about your friends who you consider to be the most beautiful. They are not always the most successful in love. Like it's just
Yeah.
we have sort of created this like either or mindset around
Mm-hmm.
who gets to be attractive and who gets to have love, and it's just not true. you know
Thank God for that.
yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
True. um
Yeah.
we can really expand our understanding of attractiveness by practicing these things, right? By practicing this attraction stuff. Okay, we got through being. We got a bunch more to go. So we have also got receiving rather than giving. So this was another mistake I made a lot in
Yes.
dating, which was, what can I give? Like, how can I show that, that I'm the most important one? Like that I'm the should be the first priority. Like, what can I do to take care of him, or any of that stuff. You want to really lean out of that and get into the mindset of what am I receiving from this connection. because that also makes it very clear, usually, when you're not receiving what you want, and it makes it
Right.
much easier to step away from something that's
Yeah.
not what you want. I also wasn't aware of that for the most of my dating life. I was not, even thinking about like, oh yeah, I'm not really getting what I came here for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, Even though I wasn't getting what I came for in dating. Next, you're going to want to get into timelessness. So rather than this kind of timeline dating that we often think about, in my teaching, I teach utter feminine timelessness. Right, the feminine is boundless. It's open and boundless, and non-linear. So rather than thinking about, like I need him to become exclusive with me in a month and then commit to me in 3 months, like letting go of all of that kind of uh, commitment structure and kind of this control. It's actually mainly a control pattern, and really getting into the timelessness and letting go of your own timeline about when things are going to happen. That can, like, connection to like your timeline usually makes your dating very constricted, and it
Mm-hmm.
makes people very anxious. It makes people very anxious about their dating, and it cuts off the connection that you're making with the other person.
Mm-hmm.
So don't do it.
Yeah, very rigid, very rigid. It creates
Very,
a rigidity, which is so difficult to co-create in that. And we're talking about co-creating, so you can't
mhm.
co-create when things are rigid. So absolutely, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. So how can a woman guarantee that she'll be chaste? I think for sure if she were to do those things. So the first one was, I know the second one was receiving. What was the first one? Remind me, I want to recap
Is
really quick here.
being.
Being, yes, being,
Being.
right, rather than doing,
Hmm.
receiving rather than giving, and
Hmm.
then the timelessness of the femininity.
Yes. So rather than sort of, creating timelines and boundaries around the commitment, really being more in flow with how the connection is actually going. Because usually if a man
Right,
hasn't asked you for commitment, it's because the connection isn't strong enough yet. So
right.
we get very attached to labels, right? Like I want it to be like this, I want it to mean this, I want us to be at this level. And uh and the fact of the matter is that if a man has not asked you for commitment yet, he is not ready for commitment, or the connection isn't strong enough, and you don't want to be in a commitment with someone who is not connected very deeply to you. um
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
it leads to so much pain. That leads to so much pain. Um, so yes, there are several more, but I think that's a good place to start and move into the guarantee of attraction, or sorry, of being chaste. Yes, being chaste, which is, first you want to be connected to that feminine energy. So first you want to be in that feminine energy, in the dating connection. And then second, you want to create invitations. So
Yes.
you want to create invitations to be chaste. That's the thing.
Yes. That's
Uh,
the fun. That's all
that's
the
the fun part.
fun.
That's where it gets flirty and exciting, and it's the part where you start to feel like the game is on, right? What is that
Yeah.
story called? The game is afoot. Like it's all happening, right? It's all the connection is sort of sizzling and becoming exciting, which also helps you be attracted to your partners. So for anybody who's had this problem, which I had, when the quote unquote nice guys or interested guys tried to date me, I was not interested. So creating this kind of fun, like I invite you and then you take the invitation setup is it creates, excitement on both ends, basically, right? For the feminine, it creates
Yeah.
excitement to be like feeling into that, and for the masculine, it creates excitement to be doing, right? To be doing all of the masculine energy, to be creating and giving, giving attention, giving time, giving energy, giving sometimes money in terms of dates and paying for that, for paying for you to spend time together. Just really being in that deep masculine space and it becomes so sexy. Like it just gets sexy so much
Yes.
faster. Yeah. So how to create invitations. First, I recommend flirting. So you can check out my free gift. Flirting is a great way to create an invitation, because what a flirt does is it tells somebody that you think they're interesting, you like them, you think they're worthwhile, and men often need this invitation, and you
Yes.
want them to have the invitation of knowing that you're interested, because a man who chases a woman who isn't interested in him is also unhealthy. Right? Like that's also
Yeah.
an unhealthy dating dynamic, right? You don't need a man who chases something he can't have, right? You are looking to create a partnership, right? So you are looking
Exactly.
to create a dynamic, not to, play a game, basically play a game
Right.
in which everybody just comes out, maybe worse for the wear. So really create intentionally inviting the men you're interested in to pursue you, right? By telling them that you are interested in who they are. And this doesn't have to be you telling them I like you, but it's just like it's spending some attention, right? Giving them your full attention for a little while, maybe over a chat or in a conversation, and just really, showing up in your being, and and just expressing something you appreciate about them, acknowledging who they are, and what they do. Men love to be acknowledged for what they do, and anything masculine energy oriented, and really just like, getting into that kind of polarity space, keeping attached to your own power, right? So
Yes.
not just giving it over to him, right? To be like, okay, now you chase me, right?
You're
You
right.
want to stay in your own center. Yeah,
Ah, I feel like we just need to like take about 5 breaths there just to digest all of that because it's so good and it's so true and it's exactly right on. Because that's
yeah,
the thing that creates the healthy relationship is when we're in our power. And I always say men, they lead us, but they lead us with their eye on us,
yeah,
they
right.
want us, they want to know that this is where we want to go. They don't want to take us where we don't want to go.
Yeah,
And that's what, if a woman understands that, like how much power she has to drive the connection, to drive the passion, to drive the polarity, to drive the depth of the sacred union. I mean, it's incredible. I think if every woman that I work with just could get that quickly, she would not need me,
yeah, oh yeah,
you know?
yeah,
So yeah, this is so good. So you have the gift that you have the sacred flirtation mini course. So the link is going to be below everybody. You guys can get that and connect with Alana. She's going to give you the sacred flirtation mini course, which is so good because, sometimes I have women tell me like, oh, I don't know how to flirt. So I guess
yeah,
I'm not going to be a good dater. And
yeah,
it's like, I don't know how to flirt.
yeah,
And I was not I was a dating disaster.
yeah.
That's why I do this work. But like flirting is a skill, I think. It's not
Yeah,
something that we like know how to do or we're good at. I didn't know flirting. Like I love how you talk about, give him some attention or like appreciate something he's doing. Like, yeah, that sounds so obvious, but like to a man, that could very much be flirting.
yeah. No, it is. I mean, that's the baseline definition of flirting, right? Is
Yeah.
expressing that you like someone. And of course, that exists on a spectrum, right? So sometimes people flirt with service people, right? Like there's this your waiter or something, right? But all a flirt is the expression that I like you, even just as a person, and you're worthwhile, right? Like that's
Mm,
flirty energy. Is I like you, you're worthwhile.
yeah.
And everyone
Yeah.
wants that, everyone wants that.
Yes, 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 yes. Very sweet,
And
very sweet, very,
as you
very,
say, it is a
very true.
skill. I want to just put like don't
Yes, I
underline
think
that.
so.
It's a
Yeah.
skill.
Yeah. And women, for any of you guys that are listening and are feeling like, oh, I don't know how to flirt, and that's why things aren't going the way I want with men, or that's why my dating isn't where I want it to be. I would disagree. I would just say Alana's little flirtation mini course, sacred flirtation mini course, so you can learn flirting, because flirting is really just that. Very good, very awesome, very good to talk about. I think it scares women a lot of times, you know, when they feel they don't know what flirting is, or this whole idea of seduction. And it's really very, I love how you're talking about it. I love how we're having this conversation. It's just so natural. It's nothing, you know, that we can't do, even just with our authenticity. You know, we're not talking about like, you know, fireworks or crazy things here. We're talking about something that's very natural and very normal and very human and very desirable to anyone that's a human being, and even to animals, even to just living beings. I almost want to say, like, my horse likes it when I, you know, tell her good job, or, oh, I like what you did, you know, she likes that. So, you know, it works. It works on kids, it works on pets, it works on men, it works on women, it works on everybody.
Yeah, we all love that. We're all, you know, we're all hungry to be told, you know, I see you, I hear you, I appreciate you, right? Like that's the basis of it all. So really getting that skill, and I think it is scary, you know, because I work with women a lot on flirtation, and you know, people have a lot of fears, and I'll just say women have a lot of fears about showing up in their sexual power and just claiming like, oh yes, I have sexual power. We have received a lot of messages that it's not safe and it's not desired, right? People don't want you to. And it's painful, you know, and many people have had life lessons where they feel that a time that they sort of put themselves out there, they were shot down or taken advantage of by a man, or, you know, and then blamed, right? Like, oh, well, you wanted it, right? And lots of feeling unsafe around sort of expressing this kind of openness. But you know, the boon on the other side of it is the beautiful, sexy, fulfilling, meaningful relationship. And you know, you want that. Or at least I did. I really wanted that. And so I also was not a great flirter. You know, and I learned the skills of flirting in a, you know, in a course, basically, right? In a way. So I know it's possible to become, you know, to become this person, because it's already inside of you, right?
It's already inside of you.
Yeah.
Right. It's not the messages that we're given about what that is by the mainstream narrative at all. It's a whole other thing. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. I hear you have a book coming out.
Yes.
Please tell us about this. This is very amazing and very congratulatory.
Thank you so much.
Books are a big deal. They're a big job.
Yes, it's been a long haul to write this book. But it is called The Art of Feminine Seduction, and it's based on a lot of what we talked about today, this idea that we can create attraction and we can create flirtation. Basically, we can create chemistry with people and we can create emotional connection intentionally. Which I didn't know that. I just didn't know that. But they are all skills that can be learned, and this book is to teach you how. You know, I have run The Art of Feminine Seduction as a live program for several years, and this is the sort of book version so that people can access it even when they're not in a coaching program. They can just read the book and do their own study, I guess, of all the skills of becoming alluring and opening up to that passionate, intimate, meaningful love that most people I work with are looking for.
Yes. And it does require, we just talked about that with Alana, also one of our other speakers, like it does require us to own our sexual power. And as hard as that is, as for women and men, I think for men too, as hard as that is to really take that on and stand in it, there's really no ability to create passion or the sacred union, this deep, lasting relationship that we're talking about that's connected on every level, because that sexuality is part of who we are as humans. So we need to be owning ourselves as fully as we can and creating that relationship in our power. And I just love these tidbits that you're bringing in about what that is and what that looks like and how you actually have the ability to learn it.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, you're either gifted or you're not. It's like, oh, you actually can learn about this and you can apply it.
Yeah.
Incredible. Alana, I love it so much.
Yeah.
So
Me too.
good,
I'm
so
biased.
good, so good. Yeah. So everybody, please get Alana's Sacred Flirtation mini course. The link is below. Alana, thank you so much for coming. And I just love these topics because I think it's so empowering just to know, like, oh, wait a second, I'm not at the effect of anything.
Yeah.
Like, I can create this. I can co-create this with the divine. I can co-create this with the man I choose.
Yeah.
So very amazing, very amazing.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so great to have you. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Bye.